Hi, I'm Matt.
And I'm Aaliyah.
And I'm Sadie. And today, we'll be taking you on a podcast adventure in downtown Tampa. Downtown Tampa, including the historic districts of Ybor, the Channelside region, and other areas in the city near the school we attend, are currently undergoing a lot of construction. We don't just mean like one or two buildings or a side road here or there. The whole city is pretty much being rebuilt under a plan by our current mayor. Which means driving downtown is truly a choose-your-own-adventure novel when all the roadblocks that change every single day.
So, you two go downtown a lot, way more than I do at least. How does that affect you guys?
So, usually on every other week, we come down here for the Tampa Bay History Center Teen Council, and it's just a real annoyance when you have to change your route every single time, because, it's like in Harry Potter with the changing staircases. It's never the same.
It's never the same. I feel like almost every time we come down here, and we're down here at least 2 times a month, and that's assuming we don't have other events for the Teen Council, which we usually do. So let's say at least 3 times a month, we're going downtown. The route changes every time, and there's a lot of construction, especially in the region around the museum itself. So that just adds to it. You're this close to getting to your destination, but no. There's a literal roadblock in your way, and it's one you literally did not expect.
So, do you know exactly what the mayor's trying to do?
All I know so far is the fact that he wants to, well, not the mayor so far, as the owner of the Lightning wants to update downtowns, particularly just along the Bay Line. So he's instituted a couple of programs, beginning with Sparkman Wharf, and it's expected to be done in 2020. But per usual, renovations take longer than expected, so it's probably not going to be done until 2022. That's my guesstimate.
I would say easily 2022 will be the deadline. I know the mayor and the city council have also gone in on this revitalization effort. Tampa has a fair amount of tourism. Of course, it is a large city in Florida, so that's kind of expected, but more so, I think, than the average person who lives here would assume. So developing the downtown area would definitely benefit the economics of our city and would help out a lot of people with their jobs. So it's totally something worth investing in, and something that, of course, the mayor and city council supported for that reason. And I actually first learned about it when I took AP Human Geography, which was a really long time ago. I was a freshman. Now I'm a senior. So that was 2016. And it was part of our study on urban areas and their development. And by developing the downtown, we would be able to attract more tourists, have a higher standard of living, and generally create a better city of Tampa Bay.
Oh. And even right now, there's just so much going on. Right now we're having a Lightning game at Amalie Arena, so that's just added traffic with all the pedestrians wearing Kucherov or Vasilevsky jerseys. It's just so much fun.
Being downtown is always so much fun. Aaliyah, do you have any outstanding experience with traffic downtown?
I don't particularly go here that much, but usually when I do, it is usually near the waterfront. That main road near that parking lot right there, next to the Children's Museum.
Yes.
That's usually blocked off, or at least there's a row of cones somewhere, for some reason or another. And it doesn't even look like they're working on anything. They're just cones there. There's no reason there for it. That
cones are being laid down on the lines next to us as we speak, as we drive. You can see the routes changing in person on a daily basis here.
I think all the constant route changes, it also probably increased the amount of accidents we have downtown Tampa. I don't know the statistics, obviously, but, I feel like that'd be a big thing for it, especially for people who don't come here that often, or, tourists or whatever.
And even with all the route changes, it's so confusing, because one time I came down here and just drove down Channelside, and then I found my way to the museum. However, the next time I had to take Kennedy all the way down to Meridian. Then I turned left. I had to pass the Florida Aquarium, and it was just so much fun. Right now, we're passing the new USF medical building, which is a main source of all the congestion.
It's a beautiful building, but the construction is absolutely insane. Very time-consuming.
Yes.
Where are we going, Mac?
We're
going down Channelside, but
Sparkman Wharf.
let's hope we can get over. Just a side note, I'm also doing a podcast while I'm driving. I'm not sure if it's the safest thing, but newspaper.
Oh yeah, no, we were absolutely, to get the full effect, we have windows down, wind in our hair, honking in our ears.
Yes.
Whole 9 yards. It's truly a sensory experience for us today. least in part through that. Currently, we're passing the new Sparkman Wharf, which is the first big new building creation in this revitalization project. It involves a few little restaurants outside, an inviting area for family and friends to come, as well as tourists, to eat, hang out, and just generally have a good time.
So are they only doing reconstruction on the more tourist sections of the city?
Well, they're doing reconstruction practically on all fronts of the city. Like, they're building new apartment buildings over by Ybor there.
Which is the historic district of Tampa.
I would also think that'd be a big effect on, like, the gentrification of this area.
Well, it's already pretty expensive to live in downtown Tampa.
It's very...
I'm saying more of the effects on, like, the very outskirts of it, right when you start seeing, like, the more lower socioeconomic, like, kind of like a bridge between where we live in Lutz, where it's like the nice, rich, upper class, like, middle area, or suburban area, and then you have downtown Tampa.
Not to, like, kill you guys with this, but that's, like, when we did take AP Human, you had the concentric rings theory. Those would be rings 2 and 3 that are usually most affected by revitalization efforts, and I really, as we have seen it play out in many cities around the world like this, I don't see why Tampa and the surrounding areas would be any different.
Yeah, because almost every major road leading out here from downtown Tampa to Lutz, I'd say is considered all of the quote-unquote bad areas of the Tampa Bay area, I'd say.
Like, I understand the appeal of living in downtown Tampa. You're walking distance from everywhere. You get to do practically anything without having to deal with the horrors of traffic. Like, honestly, right now, I'm trying to turn onto this road, and I cannot get a steady brake. Oh. Yes. Aha.
We also have a trolley car system in downtown Tampa.
Oh, we do.
It's not super extensive, and it's in the area actually by Sparkman Wharf, by the museum where Matthew and I volunteer, where a lot of the revitalization efforts are occurring. And it's super small, I think, compared to transportation systems we find in major cities around the world. However, we've had a trolley car system for over 100 years, so it is a pretty historic thing, and I bet if I lived down here, it would be really good transportation.
Okay, but, like, that's the thing, though, we could say was the biggest issue with construction and, you know, cramming everything in revitalization programs for Tampa specifically, is the fact that our public transportation is horrific and non-existent for the most part, especially once you leave downtown or even historic Ybor.
Exactly.
I mean, there's nothing they can do to fix that, though. Like, when Tampa was founded in 1854, they weren't allotting for public transportation. It's not capable of building a subway, so we're kind of screwed.
I mean, buses.
Buses, or expand the trolley car system even. I know that would be very expensive.
I mean, I think buses would be our most viable option at this point. That also is the least expensive in terms of infrastructure.
Yes, but it's still adding that traffic, and how many people would voluntarily use the buses as opposed to...
Probably the ones that are in those buff areas between Lutz and downtown Tampa.
Probably, but...
That's where most of them go anyway, if it's not downtown Tampa already.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh?
Uh-oh is correct.
What'd you do?
See, this is my favorite thing about Tampa. You know, we love being on this little peninsula, especially with all these bridges, and then you just get into a turn lane, and then you screw yourself because you're now going to turn onto a bridge.
Are we going to St. Pete?
No, we're not going to St. Pete, but we're going to Harbor Island.
There should just be a warning of, like an inability to, like, U-turn, or, like, you've locked yourself into going across a long distance.
No, I definitely feel like the urban planner who designed this turn was like, let's make this turn lane so that when these people get into this turn lane, they know that they're screwed and there's nothing that they can do to fix that problem.
It'll be interesting to see what happens once everything's said and done in the next couple of years.
Absolutely. I honestly always thought that Tampa, if revitalized and whatnot, could be a potentially large tourist city. It has, I think, a lot of the elements of it, and if somebody was able to put them together, I don't see why it would fail. It would be pretty exciting, actually.
Well, let's hope we can take a U-turn sometime soon. Yep,
And
it's a
involves,
U-turn.
I was just about to say, this is the place where you turn.
Okay, so now we're just hopping back onto 275, hoping that we can get home at least before, well, we're actually going straight into rush hour, so see ya after, and I'm Mac.
I'm Aaliyah.
And I'm Sadie. We're 3 opinionated students.